Hi, Victoria. How are you?
Yeah, good. I don't know why it wasn't showing up. I kept clicking on your profile and just wasn't there.
No, it's all right. I think it might be taking a bit slow to do its thing, so that's all good.
That's all right. You okay?
Yeah, I'm all good. How have you been? How's your day been?
Yeah, good. Busy. Catch up call with a client. Went to the gym. Just done a giveaway for a competition I did. So yeah, busy day.
Nice one, nice one. You got someone working with you then new?
Yeah, so I did a competition to win a free place on my January challenge. So that starts on the 10th of January. And she's like so excited because she's like, oh, I never win anything. And she's got a weight loss goal as well. So it just goes hand in hand. I always like when I'm pressing the button to find a winner, obviously like using my laptop, and I always think, oh, I hope it's someone good that kind of gets a place. And so far, so good. I've had good people that have kind of really wanted to get involved because sometimes people just go, yeah, I want to do it, and then they don't. So yeah, so
Yeah,
I've got
definitely.
high hopes for her.
Oh no, that's good. That's good. That sounds good. Well, I'm sure she'll enjoy working with you.
Yeah,
Shall we get down to the topic then?
yeah.
So yeah, 5 ways to measure your progress other than the weighing scales. So I bet this is something that you go over with the people that you work with all the time as well. And it's something what's really common with what happens with me. And it's women always kind of focusing on their weight as a way to measure how they're progressing. And there's nothing wrong with using weight as an indicator to see if you're gaining results or not. But there's so many other factors what you can miss out on if you're just focusing on your weight alone. So I think it's really important to get into your head that your weight is just one factor when it
Mm.
comes to all the other things what can be happening and changing.
Oh yeah, 100%. And like people will have extra food and drink on the weekend and then stand on the scale and go, oh my God, the scale's gone up. And people have that perception that when they stand on the scale, that is purely fat that they've put on. And I spend a lot of time educating my clients on what scale weight is made up of and what scale weight fluctuations happen and why. Just so then they're not as scared of stepping on the scale because yes, like you say, it's a great metric if you've got a decent amount of weight to lose. But I found in some clients that I do photos and measurements and scale weight. So sometimes they've lost like a stone, and you look at the photos and they're like, I can't really see it. And then other times people don't really lose a lot on the scale, but then you look at a photo and you go, wow, that's incredible. So it's important to use more than one metric for sure on any journey that you're doing.
Yeah, 100%. I like to go in on that point with measuring your progress in different ways other than just your weight. And that's something that I get all the people I work with to do as well. And if anybody who's watching's got any questions about this, don't hesitate to drop me and Victoria a message and we'll answer it. We're more than happy to. But anybody who's watching this and anybody who's starting their journey, I think it's really important to not only use your weight as a metric, but also take pictures of how you look.
Yeah.
Measure yourself in key areas around your body, where you will be looking to change your arms, your stomach, your chest, your legs. Take a measurement of where you are. And depending on how you want to do it, how I base it on the people I work with is I go over what they're doing every 4 weeks. So it gives yourself that chance to make some changes. And
Yeah.
you might not see a big difference, like you said, Victoria, on the scales, but your pictures might have completely changed.
Mm.
Your body might have completely changed. You might have dropped a dress size, but just because the scales is not matching up to what you would like, it doesn't mean you're not making any progress.
Oh, 100%. And I get my clients to do photos monthly. So the first Monday of the month, that's when they submit their photos. Because we don't want to be taking pictures every week. You're not going to see much definition change or anything. So monthly, is fine. And then, like you say, same probably with measurements. Scale weight, I get my clients to do it weekly. just then I can kind of see what's going on. But if there's no movement or nothing's going wrong, like I don't pull them up and say like you're not making any progress. It's just a metric for me to kind of see. So then obviously I put that with other data and then the photos, you know, combined in the end.
And that's another good point what you're based on as well, with your weight fluctuating throughout the days, because what I always tell people is if you're not eating, and none of us do this, the same amount of foods and drinking the same amount each day, your weight's going to be going up and down depending on what's happening. You know, if you're feeling stressed the one day, that can affect how much you weigh. There's so many different factors what come into play with your weight. It's important to know that that's happening. And with the different things that you're doing, your weight is going to fluctuate. So don't get too bothered if it goes high one day, and don't get too bothered if another day if it goes low, because they're going to be fluctuations with your weight. And it's good to take it as an average and an overall with how you're progressing, rather than just being like, oh my God, I've gained 3-4 pounds, or oh my God, I've lost 6 pounds. And because it's going to be fluctuating. So it's good to take that average and also base your progress on the different factors that we just spoke about.
Yeah, and I say to clients like weekly weigh-in as a minimum, but if you can weigh daily, that is going to give you your own personal education. So one day you're going to eat a salty meal and you're going to see that the scales go up, and you're going to disassociate like highs and lows with the scale weight because you're going to understand those fluctuations. So if you can, try and weigh more often, because the more data points you've got, the more, like you say, you can just get that average for a week and take the weekly average, because a litre of water is 1 kilo on the scales. So you could just have an extra bit of water one day and technically be up a kilo, and then the next day you don't drink as much and you've lost a kilo. You know, it's very manipulated, the scale weight, very, very manipulated.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And definitely with that as well, with the fluctuations and how that can be affecting you. Also know, like, I think it's really important, like your relationship with weighing yourself. So it could be a good indicator to say, yeah, you are going to get on the weighing scales every day to see if you are progressing. Well, not if you're progressing, like what's going
just to
on
understand
with yourself.
to
understand what's going on.
Down, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But in the other end of that, if you're somebody who's a bit tied into the scales too much, it might be good just to step away from that for a moment and just actually focus on the habits and the routines that you're doing, and the progress will come. So really do base that on where you are at the moment. Are you going to be comfortable with weighing yourself on a daily basis? If you are, sure, go for it. If you aren't, and you're not going to be able to cope with those fluctuations, what's all going to happen, it might be better for you to actually step away from the weighing scales and focus on the habits that you're going to be doing.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess that depends where everyone is. And I think once you've made a bit of progress, once you're like 1 or 2 months in, then you might be able to approach the scales again, you know. And if you do have that relationship with the scales where, you know, it's going to affect your mood for the rest of the day, whether it's good or bad, then yeah, definitely don't step on the scales every morning, because you don't want to be starting your day off on the wrong foot, and then, you know, you're in that wrong mindset. So then you might skip your workout, you might not get your steps in, you know. So you don't want to be putting yourself in that negative headspace by standing on the scales in the morning. And obviously, like we're going to discuss, you know, there is way more things that you can kind of use to measure your progress.
Yeah, definitely. And one of the things that I want to talk about with measuring your progress is one factor that you can use. What's different is, are you getting stronger? And I love using this factor with the people I work with, because the main factor with getting stronger is you're taking your mind off almost your weight. You're taking your mind off, is your body changing, and you're actually focusing on something. What if it happens, you do gain stronger, the outcome of you getting stronger is going to be your body is going to be improving. So I always tell people to be weight training. And if you are doing that, like you're lifting weights, you're trying to get stronger, a big factor for you ladies as well, you're not going to look like a man. No, you haven't even got the hormones in your body to look like a man.
Yeah.
And it's important to know that. But the outcome of you doing the weight training is that your body is going to change. You will start to look better. You will get that toned appearance, what all the women want. And once you start toning up, building muscle, you won't even care with what the weighing scale says because you are looking better. So it's important to know that you can look better, gain muscle, maybe be heavier than what you would like, but look better. So it's also important to know that the weighing scales don't base everything that you're doing.
100%. And I've gone through my own transformation. And I've got a picture of me when I got to like the end of what I would say was my weight loss journey, and I'd lost 2 stone. I've then got a photo which was 2 years later after, you know, a lot of heavy weight training, and I was actually a stone heavier in the second photo, but I looked better than that first photo. And I always, like, when I can, show that to clients when they're like struggling with the scale weight and it not moving, and I just say, which one am I heavier in? And they usually say like the one on the left, and I'm like, the one on the left, I'm a stone lighter. And people don't understand that. And it's like, if you're building muscle, it weighs something, but it takes less space than fat, so you're gonna look better even if you weigh the same.
Yeah, definitely, and that's the key factor. Another thing what I say to everybody is, if you look better, would you necessarily care how much you weigh? And the answer to that is always, I wouldn't be bothered with how much I weigh if I look better. So I
it's
always
not something people ask you on the street, is it? No one goes, oh, how much do you weigh? Like, that's never a conversation. It's either you look good or they don't comment. Like, so no one needs to know what that number says.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we tie too much emotions with it. Like, the real reason why you are bothered about the weighing scale and how much you weigh is because you're not happy with how you look. So you're not really bothered with how much you weigh. The only reason why that's getting you upset is because you're not happy with how you look. And we need to get down to the real reason why you are not happy with your weight. And just like we said, if you start to look better and feel better, it's like, that's another thing that I'm gonna talk about. You're not going to be bothered with how much you weigh. So the key factor to focus on is how you look and how you feel.
Yeah, like I always ask clients like what their weight goal is when they first come on board. And I just say that so I can kind of gauge how much progress they kind of want. And, you know, I don't hold them to that scale weight, but it's just good to kind of see where people are. But then I've got a client that I posted on my stories today, like she's feeling more confident in the gym, you know, and she wouldn't have been before. And, you know, that's a massive win to be confident in the gym, because that's then going to lead into everything else that, you know, you've just spoke about, getting stronger in training. So that's her win. Like, she's not bothered about what the scale's doing because she can now enter the gym with a program, confident, knowing what she can do. And that's another measure of progress, you know, confidence.
Yeah, definitely. And that's another thing that I had wrote down. So let's speak about that. Like, like you said, being confident to go and do things that you once wouldn't have done, for me, is a massive accomplishment. Like, like you said, going to the gym with a gym program and being confident and comfortable to do that is massive. Maybe being more confident in your body around your partner is massive. Being more confident to wear a different type of clothes what you might not have wore before is massive. Being confident to go to a venue or go out to a nightclub and feel nice and good about yourself. These are massive wins, and you can overlook this when you're just focusing on the weighing scale. So it's really important to know all the different factors that are going to be happening. And if you are feeling more confident, feeling better about yourself, you know, you've got that glow about you and you're actually feeling good, like, what does it matter what you weigh?
Yeah, exactly. And one of my clients went for a wedding dress fitting last weekend, and she's kind of, it's feeling a little bit big now. And she's like, oh my God, it felt amazing. We went out for food and drinks afterwards, made an occasion of it. you know, and that is making memories. And I will always say to clients, you know, make memories over like losing weight. But obviously the process of her losing weight has made her fit into that wedding dress a little bit better. That's then given her massive confidence boost, because she's like, oh my God, I'm going to look amazing on my wedding day because I'm going to have to get my dress a little bit smaller and I'm going to feel great, you know. And like, you can't buy that. You can't buy that happiness. No matter what you do, you can't buy that.
Yeah, and a number on the weighing scale is not going to give you that feeling. You know what I
No.
mean? A number on the weighing scale is not gonna correspond of how much the dress feels on you. You know how much you're celebrating what you've achieved. So like the confidence building from doing the correct things is really important to keep in mind, like in the front of your mind, that your body changing, all these things that are happening, your confidence building in yourself, and to go and do things is massive. And on top of you looking better, feeling better in yourself and feeling confident to go and do things what you might not have done is a big, big win and something that should be celebrated.
Oh yeah, 100%. And like you say, you know, if you couldn't go up the stairs without getting out of breath, for example, you know, that's a massive win. You know, or you can now start running. I had one client that did the Couch to 5K app, and every time like she completed a week, she's like, "Oh my God, this is amazing!" And we really focused on her completing the Couch to 5K app. It wasn't about the weight loss; it was about her scheduling the runs in. You know, when it's dark, it's cold, it's rainy. You know, still getting them done. And, you know, that was her motivator. And I think a lot of people use a scale as a motivator. And again, you know, you should be using that performance or how you feel as like a motivator.
100%. So that's another point what I had written down. Are you fitter than what you was before? Are you actually generally healthier than what you was when you first started your journey? So some other things to look at is, can you do things what you couldn't do before? It might be like playing around with the kids. I've had people who are
Yeah.
like, I couldn't physically keep up with the kids before. Like, I can't play with them. They go out to the playground and stuff, and I can't actually keep up and play with them, and it upsets people. So being able to now actually keep up and play with the kids is a massive win. Like you said, people actually walking upstairs. People have struggles with walking upstairs and actually being out of breath. Can you like walk upstairs and be fitter? I've had people say like, now I can go with my shopping and I can carry all my shopping at once because I'm generally stronger to carry my shopping.
Yeah.
And these are big, big, massive wins, and these won't reflect from how much you weigh. It's like how much fitter and stronger you are, like we spoke about. So
Yeah.
actually
It's
being
like that.
fitter and
Sorry, it
yeah,
translates
yeah,
into like every area of your life. Like you say, like I say, oh, go to the gym, because then you'll be able to carry more shopping bags back from the park. You know, you'll be able to pick your kid up, pick the dog up. Like, you'll be able to do more things because you train in the gym and you have those habits and routines. And like you say, it's not necessarily like, oh, I'm going to the gym. It's like, I go to the gym because then it's going to enable me to get up the stairs without being out of breath, play with my kids, lift the shopping bags from the car without asking for help, you know. And those things in turn just make you feel a bit happier, a bit confident, a little bit better, you know. And they're not like, you can't write them down. Like, it's
no.
just how you generally feel.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like being healthy is another thing what I wrote down as well. Like actually not having health problems and being healthy. You know,
Yeah.
like a lot of people who I've worked with have got high blood pressure. Maybe because of the weight is stopping them from having a family. There's a lot of different things what comes with being unhealthy. And yes, you might go to a doctor and they'll say you're overweight, you need to lose weight. And that might be a key indicator to actually be fitter. But once you start the process of being fitter, your weight's going to reflect what you're doing, and actually beating those health problems, being fit and healthy and well in yourself. There's nothing else that can comprehend that. Like there's nothing else that matches you actually being fit and healthy.
Mm.
And yes, you have to be a right weight to be fit and healthy, but just being fit and healthy alone is one of the biggest goals you can have, because the one thing what I tell everybody, we've all got responsibilities, and if you go down, then who are going to take care of all the responsibilities? So it's actually really important to make sure we are healthy and we are fit so we can look after ourselves and look after the people around us.
Yeah, I said definitely with like the last 18 months, you know, looking after kids, homeschooling, like older parents might be shielding, you know, and we have to turn up as a best version of us for other people. And that's what my 8-week program is about in January. It's called Project You. For that reason, you know, you need to show up as a best person and the best version of you to be able to care for the people that are relying on you. Like you say, if you go down, who's going to go get the shopping, pick the kids up from school? Who's going to go visit the elderly relatives? You know, all these kind of things. And I think people forget that. And the amount of people that I've spoke to recently that have gone, oh, I've just put my health on the back burner. And it's like, you can't afford to do that because of everyone around you, you know. And I think people forget about themselves. They're so busy caring about everyone else. And like you say, if you don't look after your own personal health, then everyone else around you is going to suffer. And it's not just a case of, oh, I'm going to be able to walk up the stairs. It's like, how many people say, oh, I'm tired all the time, I'm really lethargic, I can't be bothered, I haven't got the energy. Like, how would they love to feel like they wake up, they've got the energy, they can be bothered, they want to do things? And that's usually the twist when people just start making healthier habits. It's not, oh, all of a sudden, you know, you feel amazing. It's just, you felt tired and lethargic and couldn't be bothered. Now you can be bothered and you've got a bit more energy.
That's bang on. And improving your mood and improving how you feel is another thing, like another thing what your weight wouldn't like,
No.
wouldn't
And people
match.
just get used to feeling tired, so they just feel that that's the norm. And then when we obviously coach them, give them a few pointers, and then they go, oh my God, I feel so much better. It's like, we've not worked magic. You know, I'd love to say I've got some magic secret, but we haven't. It's just the basics that once you start doing them, you feel better. And like you say, that's just a progress marker in itself.
Yeah, definitely. Like a lot of the time when people are feeling low energy, and then you don't know how that affects the people around you as well.
Yeah.
Like when you're low energy, you're tired, you can't be bothered to do things, and then you kind of bring this energy like, oh, I just can't be bothered to do anything, and it affects everybody around you. But on the flip side of that, when you're feeling better, you want to go and do more things. You're actually happier. You know, you're better to be around. Your mood's improved. You know, like we spoke about before, we're feeling better about ourselves. So we want to share that as well. So, you know, that's a big factor, actually feeling good about yourself, uplifting your mood. And this comes to all how you feel within your body. You know what I mean? Like if you're feeling more confident, you're feeling your mood's up, you're feeling better, you're going to want to keep that going. And then it kind of keeps on this cycle of keep on wanting to improve yourself. Because you're like, if I'm feeling this good right now, imagine when I improve my diet even more. Imagine when I'm getting more sleep. Imagine when I'm drinking more water and stuff. I want to feel amazing. So it's just keeping on doing the right things to make sure you do feel good.
And I think mindset's a massive one as well. Like, you know, I try and teach my clients to look at things a little bit differently, take different approaches. Like one of my clients messaged me, was like, oh, I had 2 mince pies yesterday. And I was like, all right, like, how would you rate them out of 10? She went 6, maybe 7. I said, how many calories? She went 235 each. So I said, by having 2 mince pies that are only a 6 or a 7 out of 10, you've taken away a day of dieting, technically. I said, do you feel that they enhanced your life yesterday, or do you regret having them? She's like, oh, well, when you kind of put it that way, I probably didn't really need them. And it's not saying that you can't have mince pies if you want them at this time of year, 100%. But the reason I asked her how she felt about eating them and rating them out of 10 is because if you're just saying something's a 6 out of 10, that's just a habit and that's a routine. So it's about changing your mindset and looking at things a little bit differently. So if you can then start looking at food differently and not labeling it good or bad, just going, that's not going to add to my goals, it's going to take away, so I'm not going to have it. And that massive shift in mindset and people looking at things differently is like a massive win that I try and get with my clients. And again, not scale weight related, but that is then going to, that mindset approach is going to just go into every other aspect of their life as well.
Yeah, definitely. Having the right mindset is what's needed to get to the position where you want to be, because a lot of the times when people aren't getting the results that they want, and they feel like they're doing the right things is normally because their minds is not in the right place to do what they need to do, and they're just going over the cycles without actually realizing what they're doing it for. So another thing what I like to get everybody to do before they start is actually write down the reason why you're doing it. Not I want to lose weight. Like, what's the actual reason why you want to make the change? So when the days come when you're feeling down, I always like to send them the reason why they're doing it, and then they actually think, oh, I don't want to, because more majority of them do come from that place, and I think I actually don't want to go back to how I was feeling before I started. I actually want to keep on feeling better about myself, and I know the position where I was when I started. So then when I remind them the reasons why they're doing it, it actually keeps them more motivated to stay on track with what they need to do. So I think it's really important as well to actually keep in the front of your mind the reason why you are on this journey. And once you start thinking about that, especially when it's your family members, you're doing it for your kids, you're doing it for all these different factors, it's actually a priority to make sure that you are eating the right foods and looking after yourself. It's not like you said, you can't have a mince pie or go out for drinks or go out for a meal. It's good to have a balance and make sure we're doing those things. But on top of that, we've got to make sure that we're looking after ourselves as well. So fun and play both put in together.
Yeah, and like you say, remembering that reason why. So like I said at the beginning, the client's coming on, I'll ask them what the scale weight goal is, just to kind of gauge where they're at. But then I always say, like, what's your short-term goal? What's your medium-term goal? What's your long-term goal? And I try not to put scale weight into that. You know, like you say, to feel fitter, to feel healthier, to be able to play with the kids, whatever it might be, you know. And then that's more emotive than just a number on a scale, because you could hit that number, but you still might not be able to play with your kids. So that's not going to make you happy. So go into that deep, dark reason of why that you're wanting to do it. And everyone has that reason, because you've got to kind of hit a rock bottom to kind of want to spark into changing. So there must have been some kind of reason that went, oh, I've got to change because of whatever reason. And like I say, just remembering that just kind of helps you on your journey when you might not be seeing the scale weight progress, or you might not be seeing the photo progress. You know, you've got to have something to kind of keep you on. And like say, using all these different measurements will just help you as well, because you might be getting stronger in the gym. Doesn't matter what your photos or your scale weight's doing. If you're getting stronger in the gym, you're feeling fitter, you're not lethargic all the time, you can play with your kids, you know, you can tick that off as a win, and you are making progress regardless of the other metrics that you might be looking at.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. And like moving on to like the final point, what just brings it all together, like we've been talking about, is actually enjoying the process. You know what I mean? Enjoying the journey and enjoying your life, really. Like that's what it comes all down to, you know. Like if you're just so fixated on how much you weigh, you're gonna miss out on all the things that we're talking about, and you're actually gonna miss out on just enjoying the process and enjoying your life, you know. Like all of it comes into play, you know. Eating foods you enjoy comes into play, going out with your friends and family, building those memories, being confident doing it, putting clothes on what you feel confident about, you know, being healthy to play with your kids. All these things are going to make you be a joy to be around, be happy about yourself, and actually enjoy your life. So it's important to just enjoy what you're doing, you know, enjoy your training, enjoy everything what you're doing about it. It's not always fun going to the gym. It might be you have to wake up early and go to the gym, but after you do that workout, you're like, I'm glad I do it and I'm pumped up for the day. So it's just enjoying what you're doing, enjoying the
100%.
process, and just enjoying everything about it, really.
Yeah, and I say to clients, like, I'm very, very flexible with whatever they want to do in their program. Like, it's not a cookie cutter and it's one program and that's it. It's like, you tell me what you want to do and I'll personalize it to you and make it work for you. Whether that's just doing steps to begin with, then maybe a bit of a home workout before they get to the gym. It's like, you've not got to conform, because again, if you're not enjoying doing what you're doing, if I make you go to the gym and you're not confident, you're not going to get there, you're not going to go, you're not going to want to go. So there's no point me giving a client something that they don't like or they don't want to do. The same with food. Like I say, no foods are off limits. You know, it's all within like a calorie range, or I do different approaches with clients, but if you don't eat the food you enjoy, you're going to hate it, and you're going to bounce back to what you were doing beforehand, and you're not going to stick to it. So getting some form of activity, whether that's playing with the kids, going on a bike ride, getting your steps in, you know, that's fine. And then incorporating those few foods that you do like and you do enjoy within that calorie limit, and, you know, seeing the progress while still enjoying life, and getting that balance. Like, I'm 100% about balance, you know, with all my clients.
Yeah, definitely. And it's important to know that a lot of people see personal trainers and people who preach a healthy lifestyle as this all God's sake person who doesn't have any foods they enjoy and doesn't drink and doesn't go out. But it's important to know, like, all personal trainers are just normal people. Do you know what I mean? And it's just realizing that everybody's in the same boat. And that's what I tell all the people I work with. Like, I'm just like you. You know, there's no difference between me and you. It's just that I've been doing it longer than you have. And I've installed the habits for longer than you have. So it's just getting into the process of looking after yourself, you know, enjoying everything that you're doing. If you don't like running, like you hate running, then maybe a Couch to 5K is not going to be the best approach for you to get into shape, because you don't like running to start with. You're unhappy with how you look, so you're looking for a way to improve that aspect. It doesn't mean you have to do something that you don't like. So explore different options, you know. You might try weight training, it might not be for you. Try CrossFit, try Dance Fit, try doing something where you can incorporate into your life that you enjoy. Make sure you're including foods in your life that you enjoy. Make the process easier for you. Like you said, there's not a one fit approach what does for everybody. Everybody's different. Everybody's circumstances are different. So it's important to find something that enjoyable for you and something that you can keep up long term.
Yeah, definitely. And like you say, with the exercise, just try different things. Like, there's not going to be one that fits everyone. And I think that's the problem with, like, the fitness industry. They're trying to tell everyone that there's one answer, that there's one rule, and it's like, there's not really. Yes, there are parameters that you kind of need to stay within, but, you know, there's not one size fits all, and it's finding what works for you, whether that's different measurements of progress, different exercises, different foods, different meal timings, whatever it is. But it's got to work for you ultimately.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. And the main aspect of it all, if you can base what we've spoke about, you know, being confident, being fitter, you know, having more energy, clothes fitting better, being generally healthy, if you can fit all those factors in, I can guarantee you wouldn't be bothered with how much you weigh. If you're healthy, you feel confident, you feel good about yourself, you can do the things that you once couldn't, and you feel happy, your weight doesn't come into play with that. So it's really important to focus on those factors rather than just being like, how much do I weigh all the time? Because the other factors are what are really important, not just your weight.
Yeah, 100%. Like you say, how you feel, how you are around others is more important than what that number is on the scale.
Yeah, nice one. So, well, do you want to talk about what you've got going on, like what you've got in the future and stuff? I know you said you've got a launch in Jan, so what's happening with
so
that?
on the 10th of January, like I said, it's called Project You, which is completely like what we've been speaking about. So it's about getting back to the best version of you. You know, we've all had a rough 18 months, 2 years, and we've kind of left ourselves to the side, and it's kind of time to pick those habits, routines up. So 8 weeks of fun challenges, no running, no burpees, because I'm not into that. I'm more into like nutrition and knowledge. So again, you know, talk about scale weight and its manipulations, and, you know, just educating people just enough so they can kind of understand their own journey. It's not necessarily about weight loss. The girl that did the last one lost 13 pounds in 8 weeks, which was amazing. But it's not about weight loss. It's about feeling better and getting those habits back. And like I said, it starts in January on the 10th. It's £99 for the 8 weeks. The link's in my bio if anyone wants it. And I do one-to-one coaching, but obviously no one's really wanting coaching right now coming up to Christmas. Not to jump on board right now, but if you want to jump on in January, I have some spaces.
Nice one. And I'm going to be running my 6-week drop a dress size challenge at the end of Jan. So basically, we're going to be going over weight training sessions in person with my group. We will focus on eating habits, and the main goal, what we're going to be doing is aiming to drop a dress size within those 6 weeks. So that's going to be happening at the end of Jan. I'm going to be giving some more information out to that soon. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I've got great results with my challenges before. So it's going to be a good one. And if anybody's interested in that, drop me a message and I'll give you more details. So Victoria, that was really good, the chat we had. I'm thankful for doing it with me. We'll have to do another one soon.
Yeah, definitely. I'm always up about talking about anything.